Of course. Here is a long, winding dialogue between Zainab Masters and Her Majesty. Scene: the observation deck overlooking the tower of London's new sweaty labour boot camp. Below, scores of red-clad, sweaty figures are struggling through regimented exercise circuits, their faces crimson, their movements clumsy but determined. Zainab Masters, with dry sarcasm.
Well, Your Imperial Insolence, I bring grave news from the salt mines below. Our dear residents are weeping again. One sobbed that her tender, overburdened calves feel like they've been replaced with bricks. Another, shuddering with melodrama, bemoaned the loss of her human dignity because she must, brace yourself, squat and lift under the merciless sun thrice a day. A third claimed her soul is breaking under the tyranny of spinach salads and lemon water. Oh, the humanity.
Her Majesty, leaning back, voice dripping with amused contempt. Poor, pitiful creatures. Their soul is breaking, they say, under the unspeakable torment of physical competence and hygienic living. How fascinating, that a population which once braved Viking invasions, built cathedrals by hand, and stitched together an empire with blood and iron, should now break at the first hint of perspiration. Tell them this, dear sister of the hive, I weep not for their burden. I exalt it. Zainab, Mockgrave.
Oh, but your gilded majesty, surely you must acknowledge the cruelty. Why, some of them were given choices at lunch today between grilled salmon, free-range chicken, or vegan lentil stew. Such agony, to suffer the existential weight of having options at mealtime.
Her Majesty, with imperial snort. Options. Freedom. Oh, the very currency of the ungrateful. Once upon a time, those who failed their duty to their lord were cast into filthy gales or pressed into galleys with iron at their ankles. Now, they are delivered into immaculate towers, fed the food of kings and athletes, bathed in warm showers with soap aplenty, their sleeping quarters stripped only of that corrupting disease known as privacy. Privacy. A modern idol, worshipped even as the body decays into gelatinous ruin beneath its cloak. Zainab, smirking as she paces the balcony.
1. Between gasping for air after her third rowing session, said she felt like a Victorian chimney sweep, exploited for labor.
I tried very hard not to laugh. After all, Her fatigued Majesty, the poor dear was rowing on a frictionless machine in a climate-controlled gymnasium, burning off the bacon baps of years past, not coughing up black soot and awaiting an early grave in Whitechapel. Her Majesty, with wicked grandeur. Indeed, were I to summon the shade of a true Victorian sweep, it would slap the silly chit across the face and thank the heavens for such hardship as this. Let the records show, these victims of the sweaty labour boot camp have been delivered unto discipline by their own volition. Only those who refused the honour, the privilege, of attending their free, gentle Britfit classes, only those who spat upon the health they were gifted, have been graciously invited here to rectify their folly. They are not imprisoned. They are not enslaved. They are reclaimed. Reforged in iron and sweat and duty, the way Britannia always intended. Zainab, pretending to wipe a tear.
Oh, how noble their suffering. I heard one shrieking about brutality during her calisthenics drill, her tender legs wobbling from 10 whole burpees in succession. A feat that, had she attempted earlier in her career of crisp scoffing, might have made her a local legend.
Instead, she now shrieks, red-faced and dramatic, beneath the ever-watchful heraldry of the tower. Her Majesty, thundering. Shriek they may. For shrieking is the birth cry of transformation. Every drop of sweat drawn from their corpulent hides is a jewel placed upon Britannia's tarnished crown. Would they rather, perhaps, return to their sordid flats, sitting inert before flickering screens, rotting away with every packet of Jaffa cakes and Tesco's treacle pudding? Nay. It is better, far better, that they emerge from this crucible as beings of strength, of poise, of virtue. When they leave this tower, should they survive their own melodrama, they shall not merely walk, they shall stride. They shall not merely live, they shall command. Their very shadows shall shame the feeble forms they once inhabited. Zainab, sardonically bowing. O wise and glorious queen of involuntary fitness, scourge of the sofa dwellers and chastiser of cellulite, how blessed we are to toil in your service. Her Majesty, graciously. Yes, yes, you are most blessed indeed. Go forth, Sister Zainab, and tell our indignant detainees this final truth. Here, In the tower's gleaming halls, amidst the rowing machines and the clanking dumbbells, they are paying a sacred debt. A debt of blood owed to the serfs, to the sailors, to Florence Nightingale, to the Tommy soldier at the Somme, to every man and woman who gave their bodies to the empire so that this flabby, whining generation might one day waddle forth and proclaim themselves free. By sweat, they shall be redeemed. Or by shame, they shall perish. Curtain falls on Zainab smirking devilishly, while Her Majesty sits back like a queen surveying a battlefield won without a shot fired, only by the irresistible forces of guilt, duty, and the burning ache of freshly used muscles. Would you like another dialogue where some of the residents themselves voice complaints and Her Majesty personally rebukes them one by one? That could be wonderfully scathing.